Hello, Taurus. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Taurus is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your reading. Please hit the like button, leave a comment. Consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. It's totally free. It doesn't cost you anything. Okay? If there's anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. This is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Taurus, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. Two of Wands. Okay. All right. We'll take it. There might be an issue of leadership in your life right now. Let's put this into some context and see what is going on. See, there's the challenge here. Yeah. This is a reading for next year, for 2024. All right. So we'll see kind of what we might need to do right now, what things we could start working on in order to bring about the best possible developments in the new year, right? It's not a reading for the next 12 months. This is a reading kind of for the new year, you know, to give us an idea of what we can expect and what we should try working toward, right? And just as I say that, here comes TT the cat down into the studio. We'll see if she wants to join us. But let's select the mystery card while we're here. This is the bonus card, confirmation card. It's just a random card. Whoa, look at that. We've got 6 of Pentacles just popping out all over the place here. That will be our mystery card. Tiny Bob Ross, we'll keep an eye on that. Thank you, Tiny Bob. Happy little Bob. We're not going to look at that card until the very end. It will give us the confirmation that we need, and it will tie everything together. If at any point during the reading you feel like you know what that card is, put your prediction down in the comments, okay? Let's do it together. Let's make it an exercise in intuition, okay? I think it'll be fun. Let's get started. Now, we've got a lot of major arcana cards, and we've got this 6 of Pentacles that flew out of the Waite-Smith pack. And this is material success, right? This is a harmonious situation, one that everybody's benefiting, right? Feels very good. This is kind of like an added little bonus here. And we get to look at the rest of these cards and maybe put them into context with this, this kind of overall success, the success of the team, the success of the group, right? Which is interesting when we see some of these energies here. It feels like this group that you're in, we really want it to succeed. We've got that 6 of Pentacles. It feels like there's a power vacuum, almost. It feels like there's a struggle for leadership here, right? We've got major, 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 major. We've got fire. We've got water. We've got air, and thankfully, Spirit gave us a little bit of earth, right? So now all of this stuff can be grounded. So really, we know the end of this situation. We know in the next 6 months, this thing is going to be very successful. All right, that's my prediction. 6 months from now, you're going to be kind of laughing about this, right? Or you will have forgotten all about it. Because I think at the end of the day, what we really want is for this situation to be successful. We want everybody who's involved here, the team, right? Maybe it's a work thing, maybe it's a family thing, maybe this is somewhere that you volunteer, maybe this is a community organization, maybe this is a religious organization even, your church, temple, lodge, your order, right? It's going to be okay, right? A few months down the road, everything's going to be good. There's going to be this success of the entire organization. Okay, it could be an organization of one, even, right? It could be you kind of as the leader of your own life. I do feel like there are other players here, even though we don't really have any court cards here at all. But there is the implication. Wow, you really hear my cat up there now. She's racing around the house upstairs there. We'll start with the Two of Wands anyway. And this to me feels like the power struggle, right? This to me feels like there maybe are two of you that really want to be the leader. Now, it could be that you have both of these within yourself, and it could be that you are kind of wrestling with yourself or with another person about which direction to take this group, this project, this work, this company, this family, this business, whatever. Because it's as if the will is not unified. You've almost reached an agreement, but there's just something fundamental that the two of you can't agree on. There's just this last point of contention that neither of you want to budge on, right? So the negotiations have kind of stopped at this point, where it's just like, you're not budging on this particular point, and neither are they. Again, it could be both things within you. It could be two things that you absolutely want, but they seem like they're in different directions, okay? I kind of feel like there's another person here. I feel as if maybe it's, well, I guess it could be a spouse, right? It could be a romantic partner. It could be that the two of you kind of have different desires for life. We even see that reflected in the Emperor and Empress energies. Their backs are to each other. They're looking in different directions here, right? So that implies to me that there is this kind of split, and there is this contention between the two. There are these things that it feels as if the negotiation has just stopped. But you're someone with a very strong sense of self. You're somebody that, I think is used to making all the decisions. You're good at it. But making the decisions kind of reminds me of this Emperor card, Aries energy, likes to start things, but maybe that's the fun. Maybe the fun is getting involved in something. It's kind of like, I don't know why it came to me, the tourist, right? Taurus, the tourist. Because it's kind of like we start something, we initiate something. We like to go visit other places, but we don't want to stay there and live for the rest of our lives, right? And that, to me, that's kind of the Emperor energy, wanting to start new campaigns, new public works projects, just new exciting things. It's that cardinal fire, right? And I think that you're feeling a little bit of that now, where it's hard for you to find a type of compromise in a place, a situation, in a decision that you could see yourself for the long term. Okay? And in some ways, maybe this is a romantic thing. And maybe the two of you have kind of different ideas of what the rest of your lives will be. And there's a difficulty, we even see that here with the Two of Cups, right? That there is a strong love energy here. There is a bond. There is a fundamental connection, but then there's also a fundamental disagreement. Now, this of course, could be a work thing, right? Everybody is here under this kind of corporate umbrella. We all believe in the same things, right? The mission statement is the same, but we disagree on what the next move for the company should be. Okay, even the Emperor up here, it says that, we all have a boss, right? Everyone has a boss. Who do you answer to? This could be a boss at work. It could be a higher authority, right? It could be a spiritual authority in your life. It could be God, goddess, deity, guardian angel, spirit guide, ancestors, right? Your higher mind, your conscience, your true or higher self. Everyone has a boss, right? And I think that we're kind of, sometimes we need a reminder of that, I guess. But it's also the idea here that you feel this strongly about something and you're not willing to budge on this because this is what the boss told you, right? This is what your higher self told you. This is what spirit has told you. This is what your self is all about. And that's why I say it's a fundamental disagreement. Yeah, it's something that you don't want to budge on. But I think neither do they, right? Neither do they. And it's not, the emperor and the empress don't represent the two individuals. Not one of you is an emperor and the other one is an empress. This is just a symbol to me that there are two kind of opposing individuals here, right? You're a little bit of the empress too. They're a little bit of the emperor. It's not that well defined, okay? With the emperor here, I feel like we're trying to avoid a sense of powerlessness. We don't want to feel as if we're compromising on something fundamental, because then it's kind of like we've relinquished all control, right? If we give up this wand, well, the wand controls everything else. So we've given away the keys to the kingdom, right? So I feel there's a resistance to that. Some of you have a strong connection with owls. Some of you really, some of you have what, how do I phrase this? Sometimes we feel like we have all the answers, right? And maybe that's why I'm kind of getting like the owl imagery. Because I feel like most of us feel this way, I think. We know we know what's best for ourselves, right? When it comes to our lives, our decisions, we are the wise old owl, right? So it's difficult for us to maybe become a little bit of the empress, right? Maybe we do need to kind of blend these energies together and soften our Two of Wands with a little bit of the Two of Cups. Yeah, because these are in opposition, right? The Two of Wands, Two of Cups, water, fire, they don't really get along. What they produce is this kind of air energy, right? The steam, the agitation. So there's this desire for sovereignty, for rulership, for leadership, but there's also a need for us to either compromise, or I think we've got to move on here. We're in kind of an impasse, and these two are not getting along. So we've got to decide what is more important to us, right? It's almost as if the emperor needs a little bit of Two of Cups, the empress needs a little bit of Two of Wands. One of you needs to, and I think again these are blending fluid energies. Okay, it's not distinct this way. One of you needs to yield a little bit more, be a little bit more flexible and accepting. The other one needs to be a little bit more firm, a little bit more assertive, right? And I think it's a yin-yang thing. We need to be both. We need to be fluid. We need to find a way to compromise, in all honesty, right? But the emperor here is a good leader. I think you're someone that is a strong leader, and I think you've had to be. And maybe you've been in charge of this company or this family or this business or of your own life for a long, long time. And you're good at it, and it's worked for you. But now I feel like there's this partnership. Now there's something else. There's someone else that we have to yield to. Yeah. I'm sensing something very distinct about the face too. I don't know if for some of you there's a very distinct facial feature, either for you or for this other person, or maybe that's some symbol that means something to you. The idea of a very distinct face there. What's fueling all of this? Let's say the devil, right? Devil energy. And this is Really, the devil's like solo ambition. You know what I mean? And this too leads me to believe that, yeah, you've been doing things on your own. You've had all the power. I mean, look at the power here in the central pillar. Look at that. The Emperor has the 2 wands, well, has all the fire energy, really. Has dominion, has creative and executive control here. And there is this fire underneath, this ambition. It's very, I mean, this is kind of, I don't use this word very much, but this is kind of a toxic masculinity, right? And I try not to use those kinds of phrases because they're so loaded, you know. But I kind of feel like this is just a lot of control, a lot of almost aggression and assertiveness, and we need a little bit of this water, and we need to kind of mix some of this more, and even on the entire path of the serpent. Water. Air and water, I guess, but still water. And then the Empress energy. So this is fire, this is water. This is masculine, this is feminine. There needs to be a blending here. And I know I probably just pissed off a whole lot of people with my toxic masculinity comment, but it really feels like this is, maybe we should use Mr. Tao, the yin-yang duck, as an example here. We need to be a fluid combination of both styles of energy. Okay? We need to be assertive and dominant, but we also need to be passive and yielding and accepting and flexible. Right? Anyway, probably just lost half the audience here. Seven of Swords. This is an impasse. I think both of you are remaining too assertive, too dominant, too inflexible. Yeah. Both of you think that your course of action is correct, and nothing is going to sway either of you. That is only going to lead to the complete breakdown of communication. This 10 of Swords is in the future position here. There's not going to be a loss of love. I mean, there's still well, I mean, maybe it would if we stop here, then maybe this is going to be really far in the background, a distant memory, right? Almost off the table. Anyway, the devil energy a little bit more. There's a perception here that you have been solo for a long time, doing things your own way, whether business, family, relationships, whatever we're talking about here. That you've always done things your way, and you're used to doing things alone, you know, and so it's difficult to get out of this energy. You're someone that kind of likes to do things your way. You like to have creative license, freedom. You like to be the executive, right? I also think you're starting to feel it in your body, right? I'm sensing that there's some problems with the knees, maybe just more painful joints generally. But I feel like the signs are there that, hey, maybe it's time to kind of soften ourselves a little bit. You know, maybe it's time to focus on the others. Instead of being so strict and rigid and stern and in control, let's be a little bit more flexible, right? Instead of always being worried about, powerlifting, let's focus on stretching and flexibility, Too much just like free weights, it's going to destroy your joints. You have to be flexible too, Otherwise, I think there is a breakdown. Not physically necessarily, but in the communication. And that's a 10, right? 10 of Swords here. We're going to switch over to the path of the Serpent, and as I do this, I'd like to ask for your subscription. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. Right? Totally free, doesn't cost you anything at all. And leave some comments for me. I really do enjoy reading the comments. I enjoy hearing from all of you. Shout out where you're watching from. right? I want to see how global our audience is. I appreciate all of you, and I love all of you. Okay, general energy. We're starting to we're starting to understand a little bit more of this, the watery side of things, the flexibility, the yielding, but we still have this Chariot card. Now, the Chariot is kind of this is us not wanting to, almost begrudgingly getting out of this lane, right? Sometimes the Chariot is a real stickler. It's some Cancer energy. This is, I'm a solar Cancer, right? And sometimes when we feel forced to do things that we don't want to do or that are outside of our comfort zone, we have a little bit of a fit, right? We can get a little emotional about that. And I think this is it, because this is kind of the energy that says, if I have to, I will, but I like sticking with what is familiar, right? And you're in this fiery emperor kind of energy, and it feels like home. It feels like that's where you've always been, and that's the groove that you're in, and that works, and that it feels familiar and comfortable. But straying from that tradition, and this is almost, the Chariot here is almost that energy that you will defend, right? To the death, really. That there's, and we're starting to kind of get out of that. We're seeing that in ourselves. We're seeing, yeah, maybe I'm just so committed to this way of doing things. I'm so committed to my control that it's starting to limit you. Yeah, starting to limit you. Because I think as we grow and evolve as beings, now maybe you're, I don't know how old you are. Maybe you're older or younger than me. Maybe you're retired. Maybe you're just entering the workforce. Maybe you're just getting out of school or just going into school. We start to learn what's really important to us. The Nine of Cups here. Is this kind of life, is this central pillar of fire and ambition and control, is this giving you happiness and bliss? Is this fulfilling and rewarding and satisfying to you physically? What about mentally, emotionally? Does it satisfy you? What about spiritually, creatively? Is it giving you what you need? I don't think so. Because this Two of Cups here behind everything, it's almost like this is a hidden desire. You really want love and connection. You really want to have these vulnerable, intimate moments with people and these bonds. So the Nine of Cups in the environment is us kind of, this is us realizing what is important to us and being open and vulnerable and flexible in our environment. This is the position of the environment. This is the position of our relationship with the environment. This is what we want to get out of life, right? This is the way we want to interface with life in a way that's satisfying and feels good and is rewarding. So maybe we're shifting from the emperor now into a little bit more empress, starting to care less about control, more about fluidity, more about art, more about beauty, more about kind of yielding to the energy around us, right? And relating to things, feeling things, understanding things in a visceral way. Yeah. Focusing more on stretching and flexibility than on just powerlifting, So the next card then is that Star. And the Star is kind of like a water card. There's confusion whether Aquarius is a water sign or an air sign. It's an air sign, right? It's a fixed air sign, but it's fixed in the spirit. It's fixed in the divine energy, right? It's fixed in the air, but it also has this idea of water, right? It's the water bearer because it is receiving the divine energy, the spiritual downloads. It is following the starlight. Right? That's what this energy does. And I think this is showing us that life isn't just, fire or water. It's not just, flexibility or rigidity. It's got to be a blending of both. It's the Tao here. So I think you're starting to follow your star. I think this is the difficult thing for you. But I think you're really trying to follow what Spirit is telling you, right? And a lot of the time, like, old habits die hard, right? We've been in this fiery control energy for a while. It's going to be difficult to get out of that, right? Some of you have a strong connection with stained glass. And I don't know if that has something to do with some kind of a religious organization, maybe a church that you used to visit when you were a kid. Something stained glass in your life helps to remind you of this sense of holiness, right? And it brings you out of all this fiery energy. Okay? Maybe the stained glass is just supposed to be a representation of looking at kind of an inspirational beauty, like art, something like that. But this is the difficult thing, and this is, I think, we need to use whatever tools we have at our disposal. If it is memories, right, of like a stained glass, maybe it's a window, maybe it's a piece of stained glass, and it could be a keychain even. But I feel like that kind of acts as a window for you to see what your destiny, to see what your path is. And here it's leading to the Empress. It's leading to that more yielding side of ourselves. But, if we think of an Empress, it's not just passivity, right? It's not just yielding. It's not just this kind of magnetic, accepting, flexible energy. No, if this is nature. This is serious business. This is strong. This is powerful. This is assertive. This is dangerous, right? This is in control. Nature makes the decisions, right? We don't. The same thing could be said of the emperor. The emperor is not just rigid and decisive and wants what it wants and is in control and controls everything. No, an emperor has to be yielding. Has to listen to the people, listen to the advisors, has to take in all of the energy around it in order to make the best decision for the realm. It's not just fixed and rigid energy, just as the Empress is not just passive and yielding energy. It contains, life contains both. Each one contains its complement. And I think that's what you're learning, and it might be that we've been in this fire energy for so long that we feel shifting over to this, more watery side of the table is a really huge change. It can be gradual. It can be a blending, right? There are some of us that need to be very cautious with the water energy. I'm getting kind of these vibes of like the kidneys and the water filtration in the body. So I don't know if that means anything to any of you, but it's important to hydrate, right? Take care of those kidneys, okay? I say we look at the mystery card now. We've got this Six of Pentacles, again, that came out of the Smith-Waite pack. And it's saying that we're going to find the compromise. We're going to find a way for this whole thing to be successful. For both sides of the table, for everybody here has an equal seat at the table, right? So we will find the solution. Maybe the solution is really to start finding some of that yielding Empress energy into our lives. To find the kind of balance, the fluidity between these two separate paths. This is really, this is one of the first times that we've had such a distinct fire and water in the two paths of our spread here. Let's see what Tiny Bob Ross has for us. Thank you, Bob. Happy little Bob. Maybe another. Well, we had the Six of Pentacles, right? Maybe this will be the Six of Swords, right? We had fire, water. Now we've got the earth in a balanced form. Maybe we need the air in a balanced form. I'm saying Six of Swords. If you have a prediction, put it down in the comments. Oh, well, hey, 10 of Cups, I'll take it. I'll take it. This is picture-perfect happiness, right? This is you living your best life and showing gratitude, being gracious, accepting it, right? It's water. It's magnetic. We need to accept the blessings and the miracles in life. I think in the next 6 months, you're experiencing a shift. This could be one of these kind of an existential crisis almost in life. It's one of these periods of time. It's a passage for us all where we kind of begin to shift into a different mode of energy. Yeah, just a little bit, just enough, I think, to balance things out, to create this kind of harmony, but also to bring you this kind of satisfaction and fulfillment that we're after with the 9 of Cups. Now we're understanding it. Now we're receiving it. And I think that this is, it's interesting that we have the 9 and the 10, because the 9 is assertive, right? It's an odd number. It's a function. It's out there getting what you want, right? It's out there creating the experiences, going after. It's a striving, right? It's a very much a fiery kind of energy. But it has to do with our desires, right? And then the 10 is obviously an odd number. It's a structure. It's a receiving. It's the vessel that can contain this. So you have to go and assert yourself and strive for what you want and what you desire, your higher desires, your soul desires. Then you also have to yield and accept it, when it's being given to you. So this is very much about the balancing of our internal energies in order to balance our interactions and our relationships in the world, Very cool. Very interesting. We're going to do an extended reading. If you want to stick around, click on the link. That should be up here. If not, there's a link down in the description box. Okay. New readings for Taurus every Monday and Friday. But I'm here every day from 6 to 8 a.m. Chicago time. You come back and see me again. All right. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. Totally free. Does not cost you anything. And leave a comment for me. I really do love hearing from you. I read every comment. All right. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we're all in this together.